Money blocks. Today we're doing things a little differently. Usually you see me here on YouTube on a whiteboard breaking everything down for you, but today I'm in preparation for a presentation and I wanted to be able to put this on my YouTube and prepare for the presentation. So you will be hopping along with me as I prepare my presentation and be able to share this with you, because money blocks is the invisible barrier between where you are now financially and where you want to be. And we really want to understand at its depth what money blocks are. So let's get into it. Now, in case you have not been on my channel before, my name is Lauren Plant. I've been coaching professionally since 2020, and I've helped thousands of professionals overcome their blocks and create new life for themselves. Much of my coaching comes from my experience in human behavior and sales. So I worked in human behavior and then as a neurological education specialist. So I learned a lot about the brain and the operations of a human being. And then I got into real estate sales, which is where I learned about energy and money and client to client interaction and client attraction and all of those things. So my goal is to help you live a life not just of success, but also fulfillment. I don't think it's worth it when we burn ourselves out for success and then we don't get to enjoy the journey, or if we just have fulfillment, but we don't have money and resources to continue to build up the world and have an impact on this world. So my coaching and teaching is guided by God-led principles and my 4-step proven framework. So I am a believer, and that's a big part of who I am. And my 4-step proven framework is broken down into 4 steps purposely in that order to help you break old limiting patterns. So I have 2 rules as you move through this. There is no judgment, and to be present as you are moving through this video. No judgment of yourself. Growth cannot be made in the presence of judgment. So let's get into it. Okay. So what I really want you to reflect on right now is, do you believe that your reality is shaped off of your belief system? So what is a belief? And this is what I got from the dictionary. This is the actual definition of what a belief is. An idea that someone holds to be true. So I really want you to ask yourself, do you understand, or do you know that the world in which you live in your personal reality, is created off of your beliefs? And the truth is, yes. And I'll break it down to you in a non-woo-woo way, right? Because you can hear this broken down very woo-woo, right? Your beliefs, they create your reality and this and that. But what I'm breaking down to you right now is something that is you can really reflect on and see to be true for yourself. So here's what happens. When your mind creates a belief in your system about what is true, it then manipulates your mindset and your perception of the world. So when you hold a belief, and a belief could come from anything, good situations, bad experiences, it could come from trauma, and it could come from anything that your subconscious then creates as a belief in your belief system. That belief then trails into your mindset and creates a perception of the world. Now, the best way in which I can kind of present this to you is when it creates a perception of the world, you can look at it from the lens of, you could be standing next to somebody, an opportunity could be presented. You could look at the opportunity and think of all of the negative ways that this can work out and all of the risks and decide not to go with the opportunity. The person next to you could look at all of the positive ways that this could work out. And so you can see how one person's belief will create how they move forward on something versus another person's belief will create how they move forward on something. And this is why your beliefs then create your reality, because your belief helps you to perceive the world. And then that perception then puts you into forward motion in action. So it creates a behavior, creates a habit, creates an action then that creates an outcome. And then when you sit here and you say, why am I still stuck in the same place? Or why does my life look so different than my sibling's life or than this person's life next to me or something along those lines, right? And that's the reason why we all live in our own little worlds and we make different decisions and we act differently is because we hold different beliefs in our system. So I really want you to understand from like a logical standpoint how this plays out for you. Not in just some way that you hear it like, yeah, your beliefs create your reality, but you don't really understand how or why. So really look at that and understand your beliefs really are that important. What you believe to be true. There's a reason that like I used to live in Manhattan, right? And they had this big sign over the Macy's over in Herald Square, and it said believe, and it was the most beautiful thing. And you know, it really is like just such a thing that that people say like just believe, just believe. And that is shown throughout scripture too. God says over and over and over again, have faith, believe, have faith. And so I love how Myron Golden puts it because he talks about self-doubt, and self-doubt is the belief in an unfavorable outcome, right? Versus having that positive mindset or that abundant mindset is having faith in a belief in a favorable outcome. So really looking at the two here, and we're going to dive a little deeper into this as we continue here. So the second word I want you to understand is self-concept. Now, again, I got this from a definition of the dictionary. Self-concept is an idea of the self constructed from the beliefs one holds about oneself. Okay? So your personal self-concept is defined by the beliefs you hold about yourself. So you think about it. I believe that I'm a kind person. I believe that I am an able person, or I believe that I am unworthy, or that I am not enough. I believe that I talk too much. I believe that I am attractive or unattractive. I believe that I present myself well. I am good at communication, or I'm not good at communication. So you see where this starts to enhance in importance. Your personal self-concept is what you the beliefs you hold. Oh, my dog just sneezed, bless you. The thoughts you and beliefs you hold about yourself, so your personal self-concept. Now this is going to affect you, how you show up in the world. This is going to affect your confidence, which in any profession you know that this becomes very important because energy is very contagious. Why is it that we decide to work with somebody versus another person? And it is their confidence and their ability to know that they can help us. And if your self-concept is low, you're going to want to find ways that you can increase your self-concept so that you can show up confidently in the knowing that you can serve and help others. So then you can increase your income, you can increase your impact, you can help more people, you can build in this world, and it creates very positive change. Now, we're talking about money blocks, so you're probably wondering, okay, when are we going to get to the money? This is when we get to the money. Financial self-concept. Financial self-concept is an idea of the self constructed from the beliefs one holds about their ability to have, hold, and make money. Now, I thought this was the most mind-blowing and fascinating thing I had ever read. And it is stated in the book Psychology of Sales. Have you read The Psychology of Sales? And if you have, you may know what I'm talking about. We cannot make, have, or hold 10% above or 10% below our financial self-concept. Let me just read that one more time. We cannot make, have, or hold 10% above or 10% below our financial self-concept. Now that means when you wonder why when you have an even better month than the last month, or you had a really good month, or you had a couple of good months, but then you end up having a couple of not so good months, and it ends up bouncing back, and you end up right in the same place financially that you were the last year, or you're feeling like you never have enough again, you can't really reach that overflow, or when you have a really good month and you end up spending all your money. And at the end of the month, you're like, where did it all go? Why am I not able to reach that overflow or feel that overflow? Now, this is why. And I thought this was so interesting, is that even when we're making more money or doing better, or we're increasing our income or we're increasing our salary or whatever the case might be, we still kind of end up in this place where we can't get ahead or we can't reach that overflow. And if you've experienced that, I'd love to know about it in the comments. And it is that understanding of your personal financial self-concept, right? And it is the idea, like it is the belief around your ability to have, hold, or make more money. So if you believe you're only worthy of $60,000 a year, making $60,000 a year, you may hit 10% above or 10% below that, but you're wondering why you can't break through that ceiling. And it's because you haven't gone a little bit deeper into the depths of your belief system, right? You keep doing the things. And even when your pay does increase or your income does increase, you kind of still end up in this same place. And it's because those subconscious behaviors, like we talked about, that your beliefs create, and you end up kind of running in these circles in the same place, still feeling like I don't have enough. And so you've got to check in with your beliefs around money. And we're going to go through a few beliefs around money so that this may be helpful for you. Okay? So limiting money beliefs. This is the top five that I've seen in my coaching. I have missed some. If there are any popping up for you, I'd love to know about it. Drop it in the comments. And the first one I have here is money is hard to make. Money is hard to make. Now, this could send you in many different perpetual cycles, but if you have a belief that money is hard to make, you will always be struggling to make money, or you may just settle for less because you believe it's hard to make. You're not willing to live that life. And there's this belief that may have come from somewhere, more than likely childhood, when you watched your parents come home, slam the keys on the table and be miserable and say like, I work so hard to make a living and this and that and blah, blah, blah. And you created this belief that, oh, money is hard to make. It's difficult. I need to struggle to make money. And when you live with that idea, you will constantly be in chaos, anxiety, and stress when you're trying to make money. And it will really be difficult. And I can tell you personally, I thought money was hard to make. And then I became a real estate investor. And then I didn't really have to do much for money to increase. And it's not that I didn't have to do much. There's always an exchange when it comes to money. You do have to provide value in order to get the exchange. However, it doesn't need to be difficult. It doesn't need to be hard. And there's a lot that goes into that. A big part of this is shifting from focusing on the outcome to focusing on the journey, focusing on the helping the people. And that's a whole mindset shift in and of itself. But detaching from money is an important piece, which I'll get into how you can have further help on doing that. Next one is money is bad and causes fights and pain. Okay. Some people, I see this often. Some will subconsciously block their flow to money because there's a belief in there that money is bad. Money is not good. And they watch their caregivers fight about money all the time. They watch family get broken apart because of money. They even had breakups themselves because of money. And you even hear that the largest reason for divorce is money. So there's this belief in society that money is bad. It causes these fights. It causes this pain. And some people will just avoid having too much money because of it. And another thing is, you know what? We'll get to that. There's another belief. We'll get to that in. Okay. And so what you're going to want to do is heal that wound. Because if you see that, that's subconscious block. That's that invisible wall. Like you're actually blocking your flow to money and you have no idea why. But as you're reflecting, did your caregivers fight about money all the time? Was it a big issue? Was having money actually a threat versus a good thing? Because the interesting thing is when you reflect yourself in the world, you look at all the good things people are doing with money. I had this conversation with myself recently. My pup recently got sick and it costed a lot of money. And then I really looked at how good money was because I was able to take care of my puppy because I had money. If I didn't have the money, they would have sent me home and said, good luck. And I was able to make sure my dog was comfortable, safe, and alive and not in too much pain because I had the money to do so. And I was like, wow, money is so good. I think about owning investment properties and how much people enjoy visiting my Airbnbs because it really is in such a nice area right by the beach, and they get to enjoy the beach, and they get to, all because I had the money to purchase these properties people get to enjoy, and I get to receive more money so that I can keep these properties going. And when you really look at that, it just starts to shift your mindset. But sometimes we'll be living in that world because of our belief systems, the other world, which I was at one point too, where money is bad. I don't want more money. It causes issues. Let me just stay small. And all of these reasons to stay small. But if you have the pull in your heart to expand and expand, you're going to want to navigate these blocks. All right, let's go to the next one. People with money are bad. Okay, this was the one I was talking about that I really wanted to get to is people with money are bad. So I had a client one time and he grew up with caregivers that were constantly down talking families that had a lot of money. They would talk poorly about them in the home. They would talk poorly about them when they walked away and just say they were snooty or they were stuck up because they have all of this money. And so my client created this belief that people with money are bad. And if I have money, I'm going to be a bad person. And interestingly enough, when he did create a business and he did really well, he his ego rose and you know, because the money blocks were there, he had some ways that he didn't enjoy about himself and how he acted looking back. His business actually ended up taking a dip in COVID. It never recovered. So, and now from there, he's kind of struggling to like build it back up. And in working through these money blocks, he's starting to really build that back up and push through those. And he needed to shift the belief that people with money are bad, including me. And he needed to realize all the ways in which all money does is bring out this more of you. Same of a relationship, right? It's an absolute mirror. And that's why your relationship with money is important, because as you create more money, you're going to start to see different parts of your personality come out. With that more money, what do you do? Right? Are you more giving? Are you more loving? Or are you more greedy? And are you more egotistical? And all these things are signs and direction for you to reflect on. These are not bad things because I've went through this myself. And personally, I wasn't proud of some of the ways that I acted when I was making a lot of money. And I acted better when I didn't have much money. So I struggled with this one myself. And so in shifting this, all you want to do is let it give you direction. Because all these are beliefs that were created over time, passed down generation to generation. And you can only take accountability, but you can't sit there and beat yourself up. But absolutely take accountability, right? Let's check this one out. Money is limited. It is just a common thing in society that people believe money is limited. Why? Because growing up, because of limitations in general, right? There are some people who think it's unlimited to an unhealthy point. There are some people that think it's limited to an unhealthy point. And what you want to do is find somewhere in the middle, because the truth is money is made up. Money is a created construct by humans. It replaced barter and exchange. And so it is printed every day. And it's controlled by the government. And that's the truth. There's nothing we can do about it. I won't get into all that. But when I started walking down the street, when I moved here to Florida, I started seeing all of the mansions with lights off. And because these people owned 5 homes, and that's just their home they come to stay at for a week out of the year. And so I started to see how much money was really in the world and what's the difference between me and them, and how money really is just an unlimited resource. And it is your relationship with money that creates the ability to bring it into your life and create generational wealth and pass it down, right? But you want to look at the thought of money is limited. Why? Probably because you grew up in a household that was, we could only spend X amount for food or this or that. There was limitations. And so this goes into one of my teachings, child brain versus adult brain, like living from a childlike mindset when you were stuck under somebody else's roof. Okay. And when you're stuck under somebody else's roof at 7 years old and you learned you can only spend X amount on groceries and you can't go sign up for this activity because the family doesn't have the money, you can only do this or you can only do that because there was all these limitations set. Whereas when you become an adult and you merge into that empowered adult brain, you have unlimited resources and money is unlimited. But because you have some blocks around the limitations, you create these barriers in your mind. It is a belief. But the truth is, there are people making millions and billions of dollars doing God knows what. I think about this, like even just like my phone case. Somebody's a millionaire off of selling that phone case off of Amazon. There are many, many people like that doing just that. And so when you look at that, you really have to ask yourself, is money truly limited? Or do I have all the skills and abilities? I just need to unlock it in my internal world, right? I just need to unlock that. And there's also these people who think that money is unlimited to the point where they overspend or they just spend frivolously and there's no real respect for money. And you just need to remember that it's a relationship with money and money is meant to be respected too. And to throw it around without respect or without direction is an unhealthy way to utilize money as well. So there's a lot that goes into it. Last one is, I must struggle or be stressed to make a lot of money. I mean, this kind of goes with the first one, right? But there's this notion that, have you ever tried to calm yourself down while you're working, but you just kind of rev up and you, in order to like make your cold calls or in order to get into the groove of things, like you need to like rev up your stress levels and you need to like cause this anxiety in your body in order to like get you going? It's the craziest thing that we believe in order to be successful, we need to be stressed or we need to be chaotic or we need to like, it needs to be a struggle. It needs to be hard. And that's what we were talking about in the first one. Like it's hard to make money. And some believe that I must struggle to make money. Otherwise I feel guilty. I see this come up a lot with my clients when it comes to money blocks. I feel guilty making money easily. I have a client in particular who, he's incredible. He's built this big business. He's amazing. And there's this belief that he doesn't want to take too much money out of the company, or he doesn't want to make too much money because he feels guilty that it's so easy and that the people around him struggle. And that's just a big one all in all that people struggle with, is that they believe that if other people are struggling, I should be struggling. And if money comes easily to me, because I've built this business that provides so much value and I built it to the point where it's passive, and to just enjoy that, I feel guilty for doing it. And I want to leave you with this on this one, is that what good are we? Okay, I like to reflect it with sick people. So there's 5 people in the room, 4 people are sick, and you're not sick. Would it be beneficial for you to be sick and to suffer with them? Or would it be beneficial for you to go get healthy and maybe even go find ways that you can help these sick people, or just find ways that you can continue to just impact the world? Because the sick people can't, right? And what we try to do is we just want to make ourselves sick and like and fit in with the crowd that are struggling. And the truth is, you can't do that. You can't do that, because when people see that you can heal or that you can be healthy or that you can move forward and not struggle, it inspires others that that's possible too. But if you just fall down and get sick too, people will just say, oh, okay, we just live in a world of sick people. We just live in a world of struggle. We just live in a world of stress. If you have the ability to heal, if you have the ability to invest in yourself, if you have the ability to get support and become better and to grow and to show others what's possible, then you should do it. You shouldn't fall back and feel guilty and fall back into the crowd where they have their own journey and you can't rob them of their own journey by trying to sit there with them and coddle them, right? So that's definitely something, all right? So at this point, you're probably wondering, how do we heal and shift these beliefs? Now, I have a 4-step proven framework that's not showing up for some reason on this image, so I'll tell you about it. The first step is to heal. And when you heal first, that's what you do. You start to shift the beliefs. The second step is to then shift the mindset, renew the mind, because what the beliefs do is the first thing it does is it shifts your perspective, right? So when you shift the beliefs and you heal the beliefs, then you make it to the mindset, you'll have to start rewiring your mind and say, oh my gosh, I'm living in a new reality now. I got to shift my mindset and rewire my mind. We don't look at money like that anymore. We don't look at things like that. We don't perceive the world like that anymore. We don't hang out with those people anymore, right? So you start shifting the mindset and then the behavior change and the habit change. So this is the way I work with clients is like, first we heal the limiting beliefs and then it really all just trickles from there. And then the behaviors are really important because it starts to ground you in your new reality and create lasting change. So when you shift your behaviors, it starts to send your brain a new message like, oh, we're in this new reality now. Like, expansion is happening, right? Expansion out of your current comfort zone, out of your capacity. So you shift those habits, you shift those behaviors, you start waking up earlier, you start taking opportunities you used to not, you start acting differently, you start communicating differently, all of these new cool things happen. And then the last step is to receive a new desired outcome. So this part people can get stuck at and ask themselves, like, am I ready? Am I ready to take the next step? And am I ready to receive that new outcome? So there may be a time that's presented to you to receive more money or receive more income or receive a new opportunity. And you can sit there and you can decide to make the old, to fall back into your old world, which some do. But if you're ready and if you're feeling courageous, you can take the new opportunity. You can accept the new income. You can accept the raise. You can get ready to do the things for your new life and show up in that new level. That is expansion. That is making it to the next level. That is breaking through those barriers, right? And when you receive that new desired outcome, that's that. You're in a new place now. And now you're operating from a new place. And then you continue that journey from there because it never stops. It never stops. And that's something we have to accept. And that's why when everybody's chasing the outcome, there's no point because it is a continuous journey. So let's talk about the step 1 to really healing the belief. 1 is to locate the origin story. So when we're talking about all of these beliefs, we're going to have to go and locate the origin story for where this belief was created so we can end up moving through the block, okay? So once we locate the origin story, okay, oh, mom and dad used to fight about money a lot, and that made me feel really sad. And I was so scared at the time that I didn't have the space to feel my feelings, and I had nobody to go to for support. That's what created the trauma, and that's what's keeping you stuck in like 6-year-old, 7-year-old brain. And what needs to happen is when you locate that origin story, you're going to have to feel those emotions around that, right? And you're going to have to cry for the times you didn't cry. You're going to have to shake for the times you didn't shake. You're going to have to feel for the times you didn't feel. Because that's not how the body operates. The body operates in the way where an experience happens. We're supposed to be a human and we're supposed to feel it, not a robot. We're supposed to be a human and we're supposed to feel it, release it, let it go, keep moving. And that's how you keep moving with a clear vessel. A clear vessel so you can continue moving through this world. But people move so quickly sometimes. And this world moves so fast that we don't take the space to actually sit back and feel emotions. Now, if you have a hard time feeling emotions, if you're somebody who hasn't cried in a while, you may want to get some support with that because Feeling your emotions is a necessary step if you're going to heal and live a long-term sustainable life. You may be doing just fine right now. You may be trudging along, but eventually you're going to crash and burn. Take it from me. It's not fun. Okay. And then the next step is to let it go. Okay. Now, once you feel it, you've lived so long with this memory, with this trauma, with this anger, with this grief, whatever emotion was trapped in your body, and to let it go is going to be uncomfortable because you're letting go of a piece of you that's lived inside of you for so long. So this is kind of hard for some people, is to actually give it up. And this is where people talk about surrender. This is where people talk about just like, I'm over it, right? I'm gotten to the point where like I can't do it anymore. Like take it away, let it go. And that's why I put the fourth step is like give it to God. Like give it up to him. Because if you put it in the closet, you'll revisit it. If you just put it in the back burner, you'll revisit it. But when you really give it away and give it up to him and say like, just heal my block. I've got to let this go. Take it away. And just give it up. That's when you finally feel that, okay, I can breathe again. Right. And then you start to create and live in these new realities. And you're like, all of a sudden you're like, wow, I can't believe how stress-free I'm living. I can't believe how peaceful I feel. I can't believe how good I feel. And that's the thing. The interesting thing is, we're talking about money and money blocks, but like, you're not chasing the money. Money is not what you want. It is the emotions on the other side of the money. So it is the security. It is the purposefulness that you feel when you receive income for the work that you did. It is the joy that you feel that you get to have the money to pay for the things it is in life that really create joy in life. It is the love from giving to others or sharing it with others that you get to feel. And it's the freedom that you get to feel with it. It's all those emotions are what you're seeking. So if it is an emotion you're seeking, you've got to figure out the emotion that's blocking it. Is it the grief? Is it the fear? Is it the anxiety? Right? So all of these emotions. Now, step 2 will be to create a platform to receive. This is where self-trust comes into play. I know I don't trust myself to have a good, healthy relationship or a lot of money or great health. I don't trust myself to like hold for those things when I don't have the platform to hold it on. When it keeps slipping away because my platform's weak and it's made of sand versus a nice foundation for the house to be built on. Meaning money management. If I don't even know my income and expenses, if I don't have an income and expense sheet, I don't really know what's going on there. There would really be no reason for me to expand my income or even think that if I had more income that I would be healthy with it. I don't know why money would come to me if I don't have all those stable foundations there set. If I don't have the healthy money behaviors, if I'm overspending, like when I get a lump sum, I'm like, oh, let's just buy a vacation or let's just do this or let's just do that willy-nilly. Or if I'm underspending, I used to have this thing where I would take my money and put it in a savings account and I would say, I can't look at it. I can't do anything with it. But I wasn't being giving. I was greedy. Like there was this like real anxiety about it. So I call it the avoidant behavior with money or the anxious behavior with money. I've experienced both. And that's why I'm talking to you about money, because I've had my run around with it. And to finally come to a healthy place with it, I have to share this with you. So you've got the overspending and then you've got the underspending. And, God's still like, why would I give you more when you're acting like a fool with money? I don't know. I don't know why I would be trusted with the more. I don't know why I would be trusted with the overflow when I can't even hold for it, right? So you have to really create this platform to receive it. Have these, and if you need support in that, hire a financial advisor. They're free. Sure, they take a commission long term, but you end up making more money or managing your money better in the long term with them in your corner. Just like when you're a real estate agent, people end up with a better house because they had someone to help them and with more time because they didn't have to do all the research and all the things. And they were able to make money doing the things that they know how to do versus spending time and money trying to figure out how to find their own home. Okay. Do you save money? Do you save up? Do you have that for yourself, or do you constantly just spend it? Or are you being healthy and putting money away in your savings, and you have 3 to 6 months of expenses in there and all of that good stuff? And do you invest your money? Do you make your money make more money? And do you build that generational wealth? Do you create stuff for retirement and for your family's family? I mean, and for your kids' kids and for the future generations? The only reason people like myself become millionaires in their 20s is because they invest. Unless you want to dive deep into creating a business and trying to figure out a way to create $1 million in revenue and this and that, but a lot of the reason why people are millionaires is because they invest their money and it just sits there and grows. Talk about easy. If you have that block that money needs to be difficult and hard, you may even struggle you may find yourself avoiding investing. Investing can start with literally $35 a month. So that's the next piece. Now, I wish these images were showing up, but that's okay. I'll explain it to you. Now, I want to tell you about a further resource that you can utilize because it's been really helpful for others, and it's been bringing my heart so much joy to see the shifts people are making inside of the Money Expansion Club. So the Money Expansion Club is a membership that has a money mastery course, live monthly coaching calls, an education vault, and a community. Now, the money mastery course is really the main event here. This is where everybody comes to spend their time because it is 7 modules of a deep dive into these into these money blocks. We really only we scraped the surface. We scraped the surface of it, but it is a deep dive into money, understanding money, how you can manage your money better, creating a money plan, healing your money blocks, breaking your money patterns, and understanding what money really is and detaching from money so you can enjoy the journey. The whole course is built up around healing your relationship with money. So if you're interested in this, there is a link down in the description for you to check it out. There's a video presentation. You can check it out if you want more information. There's also a free masterclass. So if you're not ready to invest, check out the free masterclass, get more information there. But this should take you 3 months to do. So if you're in the membership program and you're wanting to get through the course and you're really just wanting to take tools with you for the rest of your life around healing your relationship with money, you will leave with a healing relationship with money. You will leave with the tools to heal your relationship with money if you don't crack that down in the course. I can guarantee that. And if you don't, I will keep you in the course for free because that's how confident I am in this course and in the results that people have been getting now over the months. It's been unreal to see. And so the thing is with the monthly live coaching calls is the accountability around it. You're doing the course, and then as you're doing the course, you come to the monthly live coaching calls with questions or coaching with where you may be getting stuck. And I think that's why this membership has been so impactful, is because you're not just doing this by yourself. Because a lot of courses are self-guided and you're just kind of left astray. I coach you every single month on your progress. I check in with your progress. We look at it. How'd it look? How'd it go? And then the education vault. So if you wanted to stay and continue with the education vault, you wanted to get the monthly calls and you finish the money mastery course, we've got all sorts of success blocks and all sorts of stuff, more money blocks and more the evolution of money, and all in the education vault. And then the community is just for you to ask questions. You can also engage with others if you'd like. And some people put their questions in there so then you can see their questions and you can reflect about it. So I think that's really awesome. So if you're interested in that, it's down in the description. Now, in addition, if you're feeling like you want some deeper support for this month only, so this video is in December. It's already December 12th right now. I'm looking at it. So there's only half a month left of 40% off. And I've never done this before. This came from my heart, I only have a few spots left, and it's tentative because there's a few people still thinking on their decisions right now. I've had some discovery calls, but either way, if you're wanting to hop into one-on-one coaching, if there are slots available, there will be you'll be able to book a free discovery call down in the description. So even if you're thinking about, do I want to do one-on-one coaching? Do I want to do the Money Expansion Club? We can hop on the call too, and we can even see what's a better fit for you. So check out the description below. And yeah, you can get in touch with me that way. So I hope this was helpful. Again, like I'm usually on the whiteboard, but I had a presentation today and I wanted to share it with y'all. So I hope that you got a lot from this and that okay, open Q&A and coaching. That would be for the presentation. But I hope that you got a lot from this. And if you have questions and need further support, like first drop it in the comments, like drop any questions, anything that you got from this, drop it in the comments. And yeah, reach out to me. You can book a discovery call or you can send me an email. I probably won't answer my email. It will be my assistant answering my email. So if you do want to get on a call with me, book the discovery call. So that's all I've got for you today. Good luck.